Students, let us move to the solving of exercise 10.2. In that, the first question, they are asking you the find the magnitude of the given vectors. They have given you three vectors and you need to find what is the magnitude of this vectors. So we know that the formula to find the magnitude of a given vector, it is nothing but, for this one, if I take the magnitude of this vector, means it is nothing but square root of, what is the scalar component of this one, 1 square plus 1 square plus 1 square. So it is nothing but 1 plus 1, square root of 1 plus 1 plus 1, it is nothing but root 3. Suppose what about this one, magnitude of vector b, it is nothing but square root of scalar component of these vectors, that is nothing but 2 square plus minus 7 whole square plus minus 3 whole square, it is nothing but square root of 4, 7 square it is 49 plus 3 square it is 9. So it is nothing but sum of this one, that is nothing but square root of 62. Similarly here, magnitude of this vector c, it is nothing but square root of scalar component of this vector, that is 1 by root 3 whole square into plus 1 by root 3 whole square plus 1 by root 3 whole square. So what is 1 by root 3 square root of 1 by root 3 whole square? It is nothing but 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3. Since the denominator of these three elements are same, so we can add the numerator. 1 plus 1 plus 3, it is 3 by 3. So 3 by 3 it cancels. So it is nothing but square root of 1, which is nothing but 1. This is how we are going to find the scale magnitude of a given vector. Generally, if I say if r is generally, if I am saying means, if r is a vector means with xi cap plus yj cap plus zk cap means, then the magnitude of that vector is nothing but square root of x square plus y square plus z square. So remember it, this one is generally, and this is how we are solving. So the next question of this exercise in the NCERT, second question, what they are asking is we need to find any two vectors. We need to find any two vectors which is having same magnitude. So which is having same magnitude. I have to find the two vectors. So let us consider the vector A. So I considered vector A has I cap plus 2j cap plus 3k cap. So how we are finding the magnitude of this vector? As I said, magnitude of vector is nothing but sum of the square of the scalar component of given vector, that is 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square. So what is that one? That is nothing but square root of 1 plus 4 plus 9, which is nothing but square root of 14. So look here properly, I need two vectors. So this is one vector. So I need to find the another vector b, so that both vector A and vector b should possess the same magnitude. So if I need the same magnitude means, how we can construct ourselves the two vectors of same magnitude? The thing is that we should remember what are the scalar component of one vector which I have already considered. Just shuffle the scalar components. So here the what are the scalar components? 1, 2, 3. So how I will do the vector b, it is nothing but 2i cap plus 3jk cap plus k cap. So what are again here scalar components? 2, 3, 1. So magnitude of vector b is nothing but what? Square root of 2 square plus square root plus 3 square plus 1 square, it is nothing but square root of 4 plus 9 plus 1, it is again square root of 14. You can see the magnitude of these two vectors are same. So if they ask you to construct yourself two vectors having the same magnitude means, first consider any one of the arbitrary example as you wish, then keep the scalar component of the next vector same, but just shuffle the position of those scalar component, then you will get the both vectors which is having of the same magnitude. So next question, third question, again here now they are also asking the two vectors. We need to find the two vectors which is having the same direction. In the previous question they have asked the two vectors with the same magnitude. Now they are asking the two vectors of the same direction. So again I considered one of the vector, that is vector A, with the vector that is nothing but I cap plus j cap plus k cap. So So if I consider this vector means, suppose I need to find another vector so that both the vectors are in the same direction means, the thing what we need to say is, if two vectors are said to have in the same direction, if they are said to be in the same direction means, then their direction ratios that should be proportional. It is one of the way of saying the two vectors are in the same direction. So I'll consider another vector b, so that I'll consider that vector b as 2i cap plus 2j cap plus 2k cap. Now I will consider the ratios of these two vectors. So what is the direction ratios of vector A? That is 1, 1, 1. The directions ratios of a given vectors are nothing but the scalar component of a given vector. So 1, 1, 1 is the direction ratios of vector A, and 2, 2, 2 are the direction ratios of vector B. You can see here 2, 2, 2. So you can see that the direction ratios are proportional. So direction ratios are proportional. When direction ratios are proportional means, then we can say that vector A and vector B are in the same direction. This is one way of approach. This is one way of approach. Another way which I can say is, if vector A's direction cosines are equal to vector B's direction cosine, then these two vectors are said to be have then these two vectors are said to be in the same direction. For example, how we are going to find the direction cosine for a given vector? We are finding the unit vector. How we are finding the unit vector? It is nothing but vector A divided by magnitude of a given vector. So that is nothing but I cap plus j cap plus k cap. Magnitude of that vector is 1 square plus 1 square plus 1 square. So it is nothing but 1 by root 3 I cap plus 1 by root 3 j cap plus 1 by root 3 k cap. So what is the direction cosines? So the scalar component of the unit vector, scalar component of the unit vector is itself the direction cosine. So these are the things which I have already explained in the introduction of this exercise part itself. Suppose if you are didn't following this one means, please go with that video, clear that concept, and then you can see this one. That time you will get this concept clear. So the scalar component of the unit vector is itself a direction cosine. So 1 by root 3, 1 by root 3, 1 by root 3 is the direction cosines of vector A. So what about the unit vector of vector B? It is nothing but vector D divided by magnitude of the vector B. It is nothing but 2i cap plus 2j cap plus 2k cap. So what is the magnitude of that one? That is nothing but 2 square plus 2 square plus 2 square. So 2 square, 4 plus 4 plus 4, it is 12. So 12, it is nothing but square root of 12. I can write square root of 12 as 4 into 3, it is nothing but 2 root 3. So what happens this one? 2 by 2 root 3 I cap plus 2 by 2 root 3 j cap plus 2 by 2 root 3 k cap, where 2 get cancels. So what is the direction ratios of vector B? It is again 1 by root 3. Now you can see that the direction ratios of vector A and direction ratios of vector B are both 1 by root 3 itself. So since both the vectors direction cosines are equal, then we can say that vector A and vector B are in the same direction. In the same direction. So I talked about the, when we are saying the two vectors are in the same direction means, I talked in the two different way. In the first way, what I talked is, the two vectors are said to be in the same direction if the direction ratios are proportional. So here you can see that the proportionality of the direction ratios. So when the two vectors are proportional means, the direction ratios of two vectors are proportional means, then we say two vectors are in the same direction. Another way is when the direction cosines of both the vectors are equal means, then we say that the two vectors are in the same direction. So how we are taking the two vectors means, if you are taking one vector, suppose I took one vector has I cap plus 2j cap plus k cap, means I am taking the another vector, it is nothing but just 2 times the previous vector, that is 4i cap plus 2k cap. So if I take twice the previous vector, means at that time whatever I said these two condition is going to satisfy for this type of vectors. This is how we are taking the two vectors when they asked us to give a random example. So this is regarding the third question. So the next question, they have given the two vectors and they are saying these two vectors are equal and they are asking us to find the values of x and y. Since we already know that when two vectors are equal, means then their corresponding component or the scalar components are equal. So these two vectors are equal, therefore value of x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3. This is how we are going to get the values of x and y. So next question is, we need to find the scalar and vector component of a vector where the initial point and terminal point of that vector is they have given. So they have given, suppose if I call the point P has the initial point, that point is nothing but 2, 1, and point Q has the terminal point, that is nothing but 5, 7. So they have given you initial point and terminal point. So this is initial, this is terminal, means how the vector will be, it will be in this direction. So what we need, the vector, which type of vector? Vector PQ, where P is the initial point, Q is the terminal point. So we have already came across the formula that if when 2 points are given, means how we are going to get the vector. Suppose if they have given P of x1, y1 and Q of x2, y2, means how we are going to find the vector PQ? It is nothing but x2 minus x1 I cap plus y2 minus y1 j cap. Suppose if they have given z1 and z2, means then it becomes z2 minus z1 k cap. So here we need to find vector PQ. So what are the components here? Again I will, suppose for your convenience, for this one I will write x2 minus x1 I cap plus y2 minus y1 j cap. So what is x2 here? Minus 5 minus 2 I cap plus what is y2? 7. What is y1? 1. So minus 1 j cap. So it is nothing but minus 5 minus 2, it is minus 7 I cap. 7 minus 1, it is 6 j cap. So this is our vector PQ. So we got the vector. What they asked? They asked the vectors, scalar and vector component. So what is the scalar component? As I said earlier itself, the scalar component of a given vector is nothing but only this scalar quantity. So what is the scalar component? It is minus 7 and 6. What about the vector component of the given vector? The vector component is nothing but along with the scalar component writing their respective directions, unit direction, that is minus 7 I cap and 6 j cap are the vector components. Please remember these type of small things, because this is very important when it comes for the MCQ questions as well as for the 1 marks questions. So please remember these type of points. So this is the scalar component and this is the vector component. So let us move to the next question. They have given vector A, vector B and vector C, and they asked you to find the sum of these two vectors. That is, they asked you to find vector A plus vector B plus vector C. How we are going to add? We are going to add the respective scalar components of the I cap, j cap as well as the k cap. So vector A, for your convenience, for the first thing I will write here what is vector A, what is vector B, that is 5k cap, and what is vector C, that is I cap minus 6j cap minus 7k cap. So the sum of these vectors, it is nothing but, what is the scalar component of I here? It is 1 minus 2 plus 1 I cap. Scalar components of j, it is nothing but minus 2 plus 4 minus 6 j cap plus, again here the scalar components of vector k, it is 1 plus 5 minus 7 k cap. So it is nothing but 0 I cap. Here -6, -2, -8, -8 plus 4, it is -4 j cap, and you can see here 5 plus 1 6, 6 minus 7, it is -1 k cap. So our vector A plus vector B plus vector C, it is nothing but -4 j cap plus k cap. So this is how we are going to find the sum of these three vectors. So let us move to the next question. So they have given the vector A and they asked you to find the unit vector of the given vector. So what is the formula to find the unit vector? That is A cap is equal to vector A divided by the magnitude of vector A. So what is the magnitude of this vector? It is nothing but square root of 1 square plus 1 square plus 2 square. So it is nothing but square root of 1 plus 1 plus 4, 4 plus 1 plus 1, it is nothing but square root of 6 is the magnitude of this vector. So unit vector, that is A cap, it is nothing but I cap plus j cap plus 2k cap divided by magnitude of this vector is root 6. So if I split it and write, means 1 by root 6 I cap plus 1 by root 6 j cap plus 2 by root 6 k cap. So this is the unit vector of a given vector A. So in the next question, in the direction of vector PQ, we need to find the unit vector where the point P and Q are given. So they have given you the point P and the point Q and the direction is PQ. So you need to find first vector PQ. So when you know the initial point and terminal point, as I said here itself, how we are going to find the vector when we know the initial and terminal points. So now let us get the vector PQ, that is nothing but as usual x2 minus x1 I cap plus y2 minus y1 j cap plus z2 minus z1 k cap. So what is x2 minus x1? That is 4 minus 1 I cap plus 5 minus 2 j cap plus 6 minus 3 k cap, which is nothing but 3 I cap plus 3 j cap plus 3 k cap. So this is nothing but our vector PQ. So what they asked, in the direction of vector PQ we need to find the unit direction. So what is the formula? As I said, we need to find the unit direction in the vector PQ. So we need PQ cap, that is nothing but formula vector PQ divided by magnitude of vector PQ. So what is the magnitude of this one? Magnitude of vector PQ, it is nothing but square root of 3 square plus 3 square plus 3 square. So it is nothing but square root of 9 plus 9 plus 9. So which is nothing but square root of 27. I can write square root of 27 as 3 root 3. 9 3s are 27. When 9 comes out of the root, it becomes 3. So it becomes 3 root 3 is the magnitude of vector PQ. So our unit vector, it becomes 3 I cap plus 3 j cap plus 3 k cap divided by 3 root 3. So if I take 3 common outside, that 3 will cancel with this 3 and our unit vector becomes 1 by root 3 I cap, 1 by root 3 j cap plus 1 by root 3 k cap. So this is the unit vector PQ cap in the direction of vector PQ. So this is how we solve the 8th question. Let's move to the next question. The 9th question, they have given you the vector A and vector B and they asked you to find the unit vector in the direction of the sum of these two vectors. So you need to find the unit vector in this direction, means first you need to find what is the vector A plus vector B. So how we are finding the sum of these two vectors? Adding the corresponding scalar elements of this I cap, j cap and k cap. So it is nothing but 2 minus 1 I cap plus minus 1 plus 1 j cap plus 2 minus 1 k cap. I added respective scalar components of I cap, j cap and k cap. So 2 minus 1 it is I cap, 1 minus 1 it is 0 j cap plus 2 minus 1 it is 1 k cap. So what happens, it is I cap plus k k cap is nothing but our vector A plus vector B. What we needed? Unit vector. Suppose I will call this vector A plus vector B as vector C, means now I needed C cap, which is nothing but how we are going to find vector C divided by magnitude of vector C. So what is our vector C? I cap plus k cap. How we are finding the magnitude of vector C? It is nothing but square root of 1 square plus 0 square plus 1 square, because j cap, it is scalar component of j cap, it is 0. So 1 square plus 1 square, it is 1 plus 1, it is root 2. So what is the unit vector in the sum of these vector A plus vector B? It is nothing but I cap plus k cap divided by root 2. So it is nothing but 1 by root 2 I cap plus 1 by root 2 k cap. So this is the unit vector in the direction of sum of vector A plus vector B. So the next question, they have given you the vector, they have given one of the vector. I call that vector as vector A. So you need to find a vector in the same direction, of vector A, such that it should has a magnitude 8. So I am showing this one pictorially so that you can understand it in the better way. So let us consider this vector. I call this vector as vector A. So what we need to find? We need to find a vector. I call that vector, which I need to find it as vector B. So we need to find this vector B such that the magnitude of that vector, what they are saying, that the magnitude of that vector must be of 8 unit. This is what they are saying, the condition. We need to find vector B such that the magnitude of that vector should be 8 unit, and this vector B, it should be in the direction of vector A. So first thing, I will call this one as our vector A. So before finding that vector, let us see what is the magnitude of this vector first. So magnitude of this vector, it is nothing but square root of 5 square plus minus 1 square plus 2 square. It is nothing but square root of 25 plus 1 plus 4. It is nothing but root 30, which is nothing but about some 5 units. So the vector A is this one. So we need to find vector B, something which is in this direction itself. So I will say in this direction. Suppose this whole becomes our vector B. I will call this whole, this is our, up to here it was root 30, it was our vector A, means I will call from here to here. I am assuming that I am calling from here to here, that will be our vector B, such that the unit of that vector is 8. So how we are going to find this vector? First thing, in this vector A, from here to here, I can find a unit vector A cap. So this unit vector A cap, it will be in the direction of vector A. So one thing which we can notice is which one we can call it as a vector. A thing which is having both magnitude and direction, means then we call that one as a vector. So first thing, let's deal with the direction. So we need to find this vector. So for that vector, let's first deal with the direction. So here it is a cap. So if I find a vector, unit vector in this vector A, means first let us find vector A cap. First that deal with that. How we are going to find the unit vector? It is nothing but vector A divided by magnitude of vector A. So it will be nothing but 5 by root 30 I cap minus 1 by root 30 j cap plus 2 by root 30 k cap. This is our unit vector in the direction of vector A. So we need to find the vector B in this direction itself, means what is the magnitude of this unit vector? It will be 1. Suppose if I add 8 to the unit vector, means what happens to the magnitude of this one? It will be nothing but magnitude of 8 into vector A cap. It will be nothing but 8 A cap. 8 into 1. So magnitude of 8 A cap is nothing but 8, which is the thing which what we needed, so that the vector B will be having magnitude 8. So I will multiply 8 to the a cap. So by multiplying 8 to the 8 cap, what happens? 5 by 8 into 5 by root 30 I cap minus 1 by root 30 j cap plus 2 by root 30 k cap. It is nothing but 40 by root 30 I cap minus 8 by root 30 j cap plus 16 by root 30 k cap. So this is nothing but our vector b. It is nothing but our vector b, which is in the direction, because 8 a cap, this was our 1 unit, means if I multiply 8 to this one, means we are going to get something which is of 8 unit. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So this is nothing but we are going to get 8 unit. That is what that's why I multiplied 8 to the unit vector. So what the vector I got, now if suppose if you find the magnitude of this vector b, means the magnitude of that vector b will be 8 unit. You can examine by finding what is the magnitude of vector b yourself. So this is how we are finding a vector which is having the magnitude of 8 in the same direction of a given vector. Suppose if you didn't get this question how to solve, means please go back to the solving of this section, clearly understand what I am saying repeatedly, then you will get to know this problem, how we are going to solve this problem. So the 11th question, they have given the two vectors and they asked us to show that these two vectors are collinear. So in the condition itself, when I am doing what is the condition to say that the two vectors are collinearity, I said that the two vectors are said to be collinear if one vector is some lambda times of the another vector. Check here whether any vector is some lambda times the other vector. You can see here vector b is equal to minus 4 I cap plus 6 j cap minus 8 k cap. Suppose if I take minus 2 outside, what it happens? 2 I cap minus 3 j cap plus 4 k cap. What is this 2 I cap minus 3 j cap plus 4 k cap? It is nothing but our vector a. You can see here our vector b is some lambda times vector a, where our lambda is minus 2. So by this we can say that vector a and vector b are collinear. By this we can say these two vectors are collinear. So the next question is, they have given you one of the vector, I call that vector as vector a, and they asked us to find direction cosines. So since they asked us to find the direction cosine, first thing we know that what we know that is the scalar components, the scalar components of the unit vector, the scalar components of the unit vector are direction cosines. We know this thing. So first let us find the unit vector. So what is the unit vector? Vector a divided by magnitude of vector a. So magnitude of vector a, it is nothing but square root of 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square. It is nothing but square root of 14. So unit vector, it is nothing but 1 by root 14 I cap plus 2 by root 14 j cap plus 3 by root 14 k cap. We got the unit vector. What does we know that? Scalar components of the unit vector. What are the scalar components? 1 by root 14, 2 by root 14, 3 by root 14. Therefore the direction cosines are 1 by root 14, 2 by root 14 and 3 by root 14. This is the way we are finding the direction cosines. So the next question is, again here also we need to find the direction cosine of a vector which is directed from a to b, where a is the point they have given and b also the point is given. So it is directed from a to b means our initial point is a, terminal point is b. We need to find the vector ab. So how we are going to find the vector ab when both the points are given? We already know that x2 minus x1 I cap plus y2 minus y1 j cap plus z2 minus z1 k cap. This is the formula to find the vector when 2 points are given. So x2 minus x1, it is nothing but minus 1 I cap minus 1 I cap plus minus 2 minus 2 j cap plus 1 minus into minus plus 3 k cap. It is nothing but minus 2 I cap minus 4 j cap plus 4 k cap. So this is nothing but our vector AB, that is nothing but directed from A to B. So we need to find the direction cosine of this vector. As I said earlier, how we can get the direction cosine? With the scalar component of the unit vector of this vector AB. So first let us find the unit vector AB. It is nothing but vector AB divided by magnitude of the given vector. So what is the magnitude of our vector AB? It is nothing but square root of 2 square plus minus 4 whole square plus 4 square. It is nothing but square root of 4 plus 16 plus 16. It is nothing but root 36, which is nothing but 6. So magnitude of vector AB is 6. So what happens? This our unit vector 2I cap minus 4j cap plus 4k cap divided by 6. It is nothing but 2 by 6. It is 1 by 3 I cap minus 2 by 3 j cap plus 2 by 3 k cap. We got the unit vector in the direction of vector AB. So what we needed? We need the direction cosine. So the direction cosine of this vector is nothing but scalar component of the unit vector. So it is nothing but 1 by 3 minus 2 by 3 and 2 by 3. So here it is minus. See, I didn't mention here minus itself. So here what it happens? Minus 2 whole square 4 itself. But when it comes here, the difference is going to happen here. So minus 1 by root 3 minus 2 by 3 and 2 by 3. So these are the minor things. See, I have left this minus. If I leave this minus means, if you didn't mention here minus means, then it is wrong itself. So be careful while looking into this sign notation also. So this is the direction cosine of a vector directed from A to B. 14th question is nothing but we need to show that this vector is equally inclined on OX, OY and OZ axis. That is nothing but, if I say this one as OX, Y, Z means, if I call this one as our I'll call this one as our vector A. I'll call this one as our vector A. Suppose this is our vector A means this vector A, it is equally inclined means whatever the angle which is made by this vector A with respect to X, with respect to Y axis and with respect to Z axis, whatever this angle, all these angles are same, equally inclined. Means the meaning is whatever the angle which is made by this vector with respect to X, Y and Z axis, it is same. We need to show that one. So this is our given vector. So if this one is our given vector means, let us find the direction cosine. Why I need the direction cosine? Because we know that a relation which is regarding to the angles of this one is nothing but, if this one is alpha, this one is beta and this one is gamma means, what is there connects between angle and this cosine? That is nothing but cos alpha, cos beta and cos gamma. If these are the angles means these are the direction cosines, right? So first let us find the direction cosine of this vector A. How we are going to find the direction cosine? As I said earlier, let us find the unit vector, that is vector A divided by magnitude of vector A. It will become 1 by root 3 I cap plus 1 by root 3 j cap plus 1 by root 3 k cap. So this is our unit vector. So what are the direction cosines? These are the directions. Scalar component of the unit vectors are the direction cosine, where this is our L, this is our M and this is our N. So L is nothing but cos alpha, that is 1 by root 3, cos beta is also 1 by root 3, cos gamma is also 1 by root 3. When the cosine values are equal means, obviously the angles are equal, right? Directed angles, because the cos alpha is also 1 by root 3, cos beta is also 1 by root 3, cos gamma also 1 by root 3 means it is obvious that our directed angles are equals. Since by looking into the cosine values we can say that our vector A, it is equally inclined along OX, OY and OZ axis. This is how we proved the 14th question. So let us solve the next question. This question is based upon the section formula. So the thing is, we need to find the position vector of the point R such that this point R is dividing the point P and Q externally as well as internally, where they have given these two vectors. That is nothing but, if I call this one as our point P and this one as our point Q, means this has our point R, which divides point PQ internally in the first case. Externally means this point will come in the any one way extension, so that they have given these two vectors. So these two vectors, it is nothing but, if I call this one as our origin, means this vector I will call it as our vector OP, that is nothing but I cap plus 2j cap minus 3k cap, and this one as our nothing but vector I cap plus j cap plus k cap. So this is our vector OQ. So we need to find what is the coordinate, or not coordinate, we need to find the position vector, that is we need to find OR. So how we are going to find now this OR? First thing, when this R divides PQ internally, when it is dividing internally, what is the position vector of the point R, and when it is dividing externally, what is the position vector of this R, and this R is dividing the point PQ in the ratio 2:1. They have given this question. So I will read out the question again. So we need to find the position vector of the point R, where this point R divides PQ, divides the line joining the point PQ, whose position vectors, where the position vector of P and Q is nothing but, this is the position vector of P, this is the position vector of Q, so that this position vectors they have given, and this point R is dividing PQ in the ratio 2:1 internally as well as externally in the ratio 2:1 itself. So first thing, when it is dividing internally, what is the formula when it was dividing internally? It is nothing but vector MB vector plus NA vector divided by M plus N. When it is dividing externally, we had formula MB vector minus NA vector divided by M minus N. Let us solve this one by substituting into this formula. So this is what they have given. I call vector OP as vector A and vector OQ has vector B, and it divides in the ratio 2:1, means our M is 2 and N is 1. So first thing, internally we had the formula MB vector plus NA vector divided by M plus N. So our M is 2. What is our vector B? It is nothing but minus I cap plus j cap minus k cap plus N is nothing but 1. A vector is I cap plus 2j cap minus k cap divided by 2 plus 1. Solve this one. It is nothing but minus 2 I cap plus 2j cap minus 2k cap plus I cap plus 2j cap minus k cap divided by 3. It is nothing but, so in the numerator it is the addition of two vectors, so we are adding the corresponding scalar component of two vectors, minus 2 plus 1 I cap plus 2 plus 2 j cap plus minus 2 minus 1 k cap divided by 3. It is nothing but minus I cap plus 4 j cap minus 3 k cap divided by 3. So this is the, if I split it one again, minus 1 by 3 I cap plus 4 by 3 j cap plus 1 by 3. Sorry guys, while writing the vector I have made a mistake. It is plus I. So plus I becomes here also plus k. Here also it becomes plus. When we multiply 2, here also becomes plus 2 minus 1. It is nothing but 1 by 3 k cap. So this is the position vector of a point R when it is divided internally. Now we need to find the position vector of the point R when it is divided externally. Formula is mb vector minus na vector divided by m minus n. Again similarly implies with negative sign. 2 vector b, it is nothing but minus I cap plus j cap plus k cap, it is our vector b, minus 1, what is our vector a, I cap plus 2j cap plus minus k cap divided by 2 minus 1. Try to solve this one by yourself, which is similar to the solving it internally. Whatever the vector you got, it will be the position vector of the point R when point R divides the line segment PQ externally. So the next question is, we need to find the position vector of the midpoint, position vector of the midpoint of the vector joining the line segment PQ. That is, suppose I call this one as our point P and this one as our point Q, and they have given the point P coordinates and point Q coordinates. We need to find the position vector of this point. I call the point as R, such that the R is the midpoint of the line segment PQ. So they have given coordinates of point P and Q, means we can obviously or easily we can find the position vector OP and position vector OQ. So now we know the position vector OP and position vector OQ. We need to find the position vector of this midpoint, that is OR. What is the position vector of this OR? And we already have the formula to the midpoint of how to find the position vector of the midpoint. That is nothing but vector A plus vector B divided by 2. The first thing is we need to find what is this vector A and vector B. So I will call vector OP as vector A and vector OQ as vector B. So what is this vector OP? It is the position vector of the point P. How we are getting the position vector of the point P? It is nothing but 2I cap plus 3j cap plus 4k cap. It is nothing but our vector A. Then next is our vector OQ, the position vector of the point Q. How we are going to get? 4I cap plus j cap minus 2k cap. It is nothing but our vector B. So now we are having vector A and vector B. We need to find the position vector of this midpoint R. So it is nothing but vector A plus vector B divided by 2. So what was our vector A? 2I cap plus 3j cap plus 4k cap plus vector B, it is nothing but 4I cap plus j cap minus 2k cap whole divided by 2. It is nothing but adding the corresponding elements. 2 plus 4, it is 6I cap, 3 plus 1, 4j cap, 4 minus 2 plus 2k cap divided by 2. From the numerator, if I take 2 common outside, it becomes 3I cap, 2 get cancels, 3I cap plus 2j cap plus k cap. So this is the position vector of a midpoint R which dividing the line segment PQ. So we got our vector OR. This is how we are solving the 16th question. So the next question, 70th question, that is nothing but we need to show that the points A, B, C with the position vector A, B, C, they have given the position vector of the point A, point B and point C as A, B, C respectively. We need to show that these 3 points form a right angled triangle. So we need to show this one. So what they have given, the position vectors of point A, B and C. So what is the position vector means of a point A? It is nothing but vector OA. So vector A is nothing but our vector OA. Vector B is nothing but vector OB. Vector C is nothing but our vector OC, where O is the origin and B is the respective point. They have given the position vector of point A, B and C, and we need to say that these 3 points form a right angled triangle. So to say that, so the thing is, sorry, don't consider this one. So I am taking it as a generally way. I don't know whether which side is the right angle or whatever here. Suppose if this is the triangle ABC, I call this one as our coordinate x, y and z. They have given position vector for each point, that is they have given OA, OB and OC. They have given OA, OB and OC. So first thing we need to find the three sides of a triangle, that is vector AB, vector BC and vector CA. We need to find first all the three vectors. So we have vector ABC. First let us find vector AB. How we are going to find the vector AB? It is nothing but vector B minus vector A. Vector B minus vector A, we are going to get vector AB. So what is our vector B? It is our vector B. It is nothing but 2i cap minus j cap plus k cap. Minus vector A, it is nothing but 3i cap minus 4j cap minus 4k cap. So solving 2 minus 3, it becomes minus I cap, minus 1, minus into minus plus, so it becomes plus 4, minus 1 plus 4, it is nothing but plus 3 j cap, plus 1 minus into minus again plus 4, plus 1 plus 4, it is nothing but 5k cap. So this is our vector AB. Similarly I need to find vector BC. It is nothing but vector C minus vector. It is similar to our finding the vector when 2 points are given. Here instead of points they have given the position vector, so we are dealing with the position vector. So vector C minus vector A. So what is our vector C? It is nothing but I cap minus 3j cap minus 5k cap minus, what is our vector A? 3i cap minus 4j cap minus 4k cap. So vector BC using the corresponding component 1 minus 3, it is nothing but minus 2 I cap, sorry guys, it is nothing but vector BC, it is nothing but vector C minus vector B, not vector A. I had a mistake here, sorry. So it is nothing but, what is our vector C? I cap minus 3j cap minus 5k cap. What is our vector B? It is nothing but what? This one. So 2i cap minus j cap plus k cap. So vector C minus vector B, what happens here? 1 minus 2, 1 minus 2 I cap plus minus 3 minus into minus plus 1 j cap plus minus 5 minus 1 k cap. So it is nothing but minus 1 I cap minus 2 j cap, minus 3 plus 1, it is minus 2. Here also again minus 6 k cap. This is our vector BC. Now similarly I need to get vector CA. It is nothing but vector A minus vector C. What is our vector A? It is 3i cap minus 4j cap minus 4k cap. It is our vector A. What is our vector C? I cap minus 3j cap minus 5k cap. So now corresponding elements 3 minus 1 I cap plus minus 4 minus into minus plus 3 j cap plus minus 4 minus into minus plus 5 k cap. So it is nothing but 2i cap, here minus j cap, solving this plus k cap. So this is nothing but our vector CA. So now I got the three sides of a triangle, that is vector AB, vector BC and vector CA. So for our convenience I will write it together. So our vector AB is nothing but minus I cap plus 3j cap plus 5k cap. Vector BC, it is nothing but minus I cap minus 2j cap minus 6k cap. And vector CA, it is nothing but 2i cap minus j cap plus k cap. So to say it that these three sides are the sides of a right angle triangle, we know that one of the thing is sum of the square on the hypotenuse, square on the side of a hypotenuse is equal to sum of the other two sides of a triangle. So to say that one, let us find what is the magnitude of these three sides. So let us find magnitude of vector AB whole square. What it happens, it is nothing but square root is there. I am taking square root to the LHS itself. So minus 1 square plus 3 square plus 5 square. What happens? 1 plus 9 plus 25. It is nothing but 35. So vector magnitude of vector AB square is 35. Similarly, vector magnitude of vector BC, it is nothing but minus 1 square plus minus 2 square plus minus 6 square. It is nothing but 1 plus 4 plus 36. It is nothing but 41. Similarly, vector CA square, it is nothing but 2 square plus minus 1 square plus 1 square. It is 4 plus 1 plus 1, which is equal to 6. You can see here with these things clearly that magnitude of vector AB square plus magnitude of vector CA square is equal to magnitude of vector BC square, because magnitude of vector AB square is 35, magnitude of vector CA is 6. 35 plus 6 is nothing but 41, which is nothing but vector BC square. Since the three sides of a triangle satisfies this condition, which is nothing but our triangle, right angle triangle condition, which is our famous Pythagoras theorem condition. So with satisfying this condition, we can say that these three sides, that is A, B, C, these 3 points forms the sides of a right angled triangle. So these are the things which is regarding to the solution, some of the hints as well as the solutions of the exercise 10.2, and it is left with I think 2 MCQ question. I left that 2 MCQ question to solve it by yourself. If you have any doubts, you can ask regarding the MCQ questions, but I have solved all these questions which you needed to be understand it carefully. So try to go through each and every exercise which is different from one other, which is not at all same. One question is different from the other. The question you can see like similarly, but the way of solving from one question to another question, it varies. So all the questions which you can see here are important. The 10.2 exercise is important. So go through the each and every questions. You can if you have any doubts regarding any of the questions or the solutions regarding how it came, we didn't got anything to solve that question, means you can ask me at any time. Thank you, students.